Oscar Bevis, IFL TV, proudly sponsored by Everlast in the beautiful scenery of St James's Park, joined by Steve Robinson at box 640, which is a special box for yourself because this is where you sit.
Yeah, this
you
is where
watch your club, Newcastle United.
Week in, week out. I'll be here on Sunday as well. Obviously, watch Tottenham, and with this new takeover happening, it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere. So you're sitting here now in St James's Park, looking around, thinking, in 2 years' time, this could be an 80,000 seater, and you look around and to think that there's 60,000 people on a waiting list for a season ticket. It's only a 52,000 stadium, so to be part of sport in Newcastle is unbelievable.
Football fans love to dream. Like I told you, I support Chelsea, and I've had a really good life supporting Chelsea, if I'm honest, because we've won a lot. But football fans love to dream, so I saw on the news how mad everyone was going after the takeover. Can you genuinely feel like a buzz in the city?
It's unbelievable, but that's not only for football, that's just for a city in general. I think if you look at Newcastle, we've been overlooked for years, with when we got Freddie Shepherd in, we didn't realise how lucky we were and then Mike actually come in and just changed the club and turned it into a business. So for us, for a city and for such a proud town, with stadiums within the city centre, one of the only places, and the closest stadium to us is Sunderland, and they're 2 leagues below us, so it's not, and then you've got Middlesbrough, who's 1 league below us, so it's such a proud nation. And I think 3 years ago we were getting 52,000 in here whilst we were in the Championship, and we haven't won anything for so long, and we'll still sell out 52,000 week in, week out. So for me, it's annoying that you're seeing it being brought up in politics, like Keir Starmer's bringing it up, and all the people, nobody's happy to see the fact that Newcastle's going to be doing well. Newcastle's been took over, and they're all talking about the politics of stuff, but yet these same people will be going to Qatar and spending hundreds of pounds on tickets to go to the World Cup. So what difference is it? And listen, as I say, it's the politics in football and the politics in boxing is just as bad. So for me to be part of to be here at St James's Park and to be part of the sport in Newcastle is a very, very proud moment.
Yeah, do you almost feel like you're sort of secluded as like your own little how do I describe it? Not your own little country, but as in like you've got Newcastle and you've got that proud bunch around the football, and with the boxing it was secluded for a while, and then it was brought back sort of with Sky, and then Lewis Ritson was fronting it, and Joe Laws was bringing thousands to the arena, and with this now, with the new Sky and Boxer deal, they're trying to sort of bring that back to the North East, and I don't know, use the North East as its own little catalyst, as like your own sort of bunch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, definitely, and that's what I was saying before. We're such a proud little town, and it doesn't matter what sport it is, whether it be ice hockey, whether it be basketball, whether it be football. You see, you look at, for instance, the Eagles, the basketball team. They've had to build a new arena, and that's 3,500 now. You find me another town within England where there's 3,500 basketball people going to watch a basketball game.
I didn't even know there was a basketball league in this country. Honestly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, in ice hockey, you've got Whitley Ice Rink, which is 1,300, and that sells out. So it doesn't matter what the sport is. I think everybody from Newcastle is just so proud to be, from Newcastle, to be part of the sport in Newcastle. And as I say, we're going to see on Saturday what it means to everybody. And on Saturday night, I think people will be, it'll be electric because of the takeover, because of Sky Sports Boxer's only second show. We've got some fantastic local talent on, so I'm really, really looking forward to be part of it. Yeah.
So let's talk about you being part of it. A while out the ring as well. Does this almost feel like not your debut again, but because you've got a sort of new promotional platform and back in, you've had like 3 learning fights, you know what it's like to be a pro and be under the lights. Does this feel like almost, although the first part was only 3 fights, does this feel like chapter 2 in Steve Robinson's career?
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head with it. It does feel like a debut again, because I walked into a gym 135 kilo, February 2014. Never thought I would have boxed, By July 2014, I had my first amateur fight. 42 fights later, I turned pro. Turned pro in the September, fought in the October, fought in the December, fought in the March, and then COVID hit. So within 7 years, I had 47 fights. Now, you know, in thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of sparring. But now, 18 months later, I'm back to square one. Inactivity's been shown in massive fights, the likes of Dillian White, Povetkin, you know, the likes of Lomachenko. They've lost fights that they would have never thought that they would have lost because of what, you know, during COVID and inactivity. And so for me, I can't. People might be saying, "Oh, well, he's taking a step back with his opponent. He's doing this." But listen, nobody's a step back at the minute, because for me, I need to make sure that I leave that ring 4-0. That's the most important thing. Regardless whether I knock him out, regardless whether I put on a show for the fans, I'm there to leave that ring 4-0. And it doesn't matter how I win. That's the main thing. Leave that ring 4-0. Then, you know, that's when we can look to step up once that ring rusts off, and, you know, we've been under the lights again and seeing what it's like and being there. That's when we can look to up the game.
Yeah, because you know what boxing fans are like. It's almost like it's never enough. Unless you've done what Tyson Fury's just done, it's never enough. So you get the win on Saturday, fingers crossed, and then it's almost going to be like, well, when's he going to look for an eliminator for this? And so it's almost like you kind of have that external pressure for fans to, right, the ring rust will be off after Saturday, and then you've got to go out there and look for big fights.
Yeah, and do you know the worst thing for that? Social media. I mean, you see Sky Sports tagged us in something the other week, and within half an hour, you know, there's comments saying, "Oh, who's this bum? Oh, who's this idiot? Oh, who?" You know, and this is what it's always going to be. And, you know, I get people messaging us daily on social media, telling us I'm going to fail, telling us this, and saying some awful things. And not just me, everybody gets it. You know, who's in the limelight, and it's such an unfortunate thing that people sit behind a keyboard and say these things, but that's part of the parcel, that's part of the sport, and unfortunately if you let it get to you, then it is going to get to you. But for me, I just use that as ammo, as fire, and, you know, that's my fuel to prove them wrong. And as you say, you know, there is an extended pressure with the fans, but listen, I need to make sure that I'm ready to be there, because once I'm there, there's only rising.
You can't go back. You can't
go back down.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I need to make sure I get this 6 rounder out of the way, get another 6 rounder out of the way, look to step up to an 8, look to step up to another 8, then a 10, and then why can't I, you know, 9-0, 10-0. But if I, you know, that's down to my manager, that's down to my coach to say, yeah, we're ready for that. We're ready for that title fight come this time next year. But if they don't think I'm ready, then I've got to listen to them. As a fighter, I'll fight for a title tomorrow. Am I saying that I win? No.
Yeah.
But and that's why you've got managers, that's why you've got coaches to keep you, you know, to say, listen, you're not ready yet, let's just do another year and see where we're at. So yeah, I agree with there is added pressure, but at the same time, there's only added pressure if you let the pressure get to you and allow the negativity and the comments and social media to take over your pathway.
Yeah. I don't want to sit here and sort of put words in your mouth and try and pump you to say something, but obviously when you first come on the scene and I first heard about you myself, it was all that sort of that Ivan Drago branding, and it was like, I'm a dangerous, scary looking heavyweight and whatnot. When you combine that branding with the talent that you know you've got, and a lot of people won't know yet and will see on Saturday, when you combine the two, do you have that feeling in the back of your mind, without being cocky, maybe just being confident, that you can genuinely be a heavyweight superstar?
Listen, I've been in the sport for 7 years. Within 7 years, I've boxed for my country. I've walked out with my national anthem. I've sparred the world champion at the time in Anthony Joshua. I've been on camps with the likes of Fury. I've won amateur titles. I got into an ABA final, and that's within five and a half years in the amateur game. Then I turned professional, knocked my first kid out in a minute and a half, knocked my second kid out in a minute and a half. Third one, tough journeyman, and I allowed the situation, I allowed the mental, I allowed the atmosphere to get in my head. Didn't get the knockout, still got the win, you know. So it's been a crazy ride, and what I've achieved in 7 years and what I've give up. I've lost friendship, I've lost relationships. I've drank water on stag do's. I've been to the likes of Krakow, Prague, party places, and been drinking water, been waking up and going on runs. And if I didn't believe in myself and I didn't have the correct coaches around us, the correct management team around us, the sponsorship around us that also believed in us, then I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't be sacrificing so much to be where I am today. So do I believe I can get to the top? 100%. Otherwise, like I said, am I the most technically gifted boxer? No. And I'll hold my hands up and say that a 7-year in the sport, no, I'm not. But I'll work harder than everyone, and I know if this or this lands, good night.